Hey guys, Kurt here of NK Garage and welcome back to another tool haul. So today, this is it. One toolbox with contents. I picked this up at the flea market and I took a look inside. I asked the seller if he'd be willing to sell it all in one deal. And based on the way it looks like this box is full to the brim with antique farm and equipment wrenches and kind of just a miscellaneous. And usually these things are pretty good on the resale market. Very collectible, pretty cool, vintage stuff. So I thought $100 sounded pretty reasonable, but I really don't know what's in here. So we're going to pull all this out and take a look at it. I'm going to have to take a minute to kind of organize it, but I just wanted you guys to see kind of what I saw. Alright guys, so I just counted and there are 50 wrenches in total. So for $100 that makes them $2 a piece.
Yeah,
that's
how
so
math works.
$2 a wrench, and that's a pretty good price for these, I think. So let's jump in, we'll take a look. Just letting you guys know I am not an expert at these at all, and a lot of them either don't have markings or it's hard to read the markings, but we're going to do our best here. We'll start off with the easy one. This one has already been labeled for us. International Harvester Plow Wrench, P1599. International Harvester logo is right here, and there's the the P1599. And I've had this one before. It's definitely a cool wrench. Definitely got a lot of multi-use features on it. Even the square drive at the bottom. Condition is pretty good for its age, I gotta say. Next up, this one's labeled Dayton, and I don't know if that's something to do with old tractors and farm equipment or if that's Dayton equipment. I'm not sure. Again, multi-use. 2813C, patented, Circle D. This one's marked 70 to 83. That's all we got. These commonly you'll see where the edges, the spanner is been wedged open. That was pretty common back then. That happened a lot. This one here, I don't see anything on this side. It's definitely a cool looking one. On this side we do have a part number over here, but it's kind of hard to read. It's probably upside down. I think that's a K and then 8809, something like that. Here's another multi-use. I don't see any markings on that one. This one here has got some kind of part number here. ZA810, I believe. And then there's a little logo here. That might be the International Harvester. I'm not sure. Second row. You know, this one definitely hard to read. We got some pitting in here. I believe it's upside down. Can't quite make that out. This one here is also labeled. I can't read it, unfortunately. Once I get these figured out, you know, I'll probably get them up on the eBay store and stuff, but for now we're just guessing here. WP Co. 94. This one's labeled number 10. It's a cool looking one with all the little boxes in here. This is another one of the common looking styles. Got a stamp here and then D34. Got this guy here. Got this one here. Nothing I can make out on that one. This is 67. That does look like the International Harvester logo there. Here's another one without any markings. This one here, we have a little tag. Somebody wrote valve lifter, model AT. I wonder if that's for Fords. It's definitely a cool looking one. Looks like some kind of snake or serpent or something. Cool. Up here, another double-ended multi-square. This one's G261, and then there's another stamped logo here that I can't read. Mower, so it's for the mower. This one is number 1R, I believe. Got a couple of circles with openings in them and a big hex. 5024. Some kind of prying here. Double open S-curve. Good amount of pitting on this one. Somebody stamped in it Mac Shop. This one here is E.C. Stearns and Company, Syracuse, New York. This one's Monet crank handle. I wonder if that was a starter handle for the engine. This is a Lyman's Tools and Kleiman Sons. Catalog number 3146. Then we have a number 10 disc. It's got to be for some purpose on a tractor, I guess. Up here, somebody, had labeled some of this stuff, then somebody crossed it off. So I'm not entirely sure. I know there is a Ford wrench that kind of looks like this, but I'm not too sure. It's got the big octagon and 2 hex in it. This is marked Ritter, New York. 3 different spanner sizes on here. Forged steel, Circle M. I wonder if that's more drop forge. This one's got 2 diamond M's, 635, made in USA. It's a socket on this style, on that side. Here's another one of those common style. This one's pretty beat and bent. This one, I believe that says PTO, maybe? PTD? I'm not sure. Here's another one with just a stamp here. This one looks like somebody maybe redid it, or it's just in really, really nice shape. 65.1, diamond L, there's a 4. Looks like we have a 3/8 drive, or possibly to get extra torque on it. We got 2 Ford wrenches up here. Now this one is in pretty nice shape. It's the classic Ford wrench, and it's probably the spark plug wrench. And I don't know if this was added on as a modification or if that was just how they made them, but it's been like brazed here, and then you have a spark plug socket. So I don't know if somebody modified this wrench or if it was made that way. And then this one is a similar one, but with the 12 point in here. So that's pretty cool. This is from the fire department. Genuine rocker lug coupling. Akron Brass Manufacturing Company, Inc., Wooster, Ohio. This one is marked REGO, maybe? 2613-8. This one here is brass, Glendale CAI. Herman Manufacturing Company. Well, that's pretty cool. This one's like a stamped steel style, no markings. That one is very pitted, double open. This one's an interesting little one. Offset angle, 113 it says. And then there's a pin here. Double S curve. Little double open with a diamond logo on it. Then here we have Wakefield number 45. Rusty guy. Double square with a 13 on it. And then a little double open one here. And then these 4 are all stamped steel multi-wrenches. And this one here on the back says made in England. So that's pretty cool. This one's actually in pretty nice shape. So that is the wrench collection. I got this from a guy I regularly shop with, and he does a lot of estate sales. And I think all this he got in this toolbox, probably an estate sale. And this probably used to be somebody's collection, I think, because this is a pretty well put together collection of farm equipment and obscure wrenches. Definitely a lot of old and antique stuff here, a lot of cool stuff. Like I said, I don't really know a lot about this stuff. I have had some of the International Harvester stuff before. The Klein tools, I've seen those a few times. The Ford wrenches, I've had those a lot. But a lot of this stuff is brand new to me. So if anybody has any information on any of this, leave it in the comments below. Let me know, what do you think? $2 a wrench. Would you have picked up this lot for $100? I think for me, given that some of this will go to resale on the eBay store, I think it was monetarily a good deal. but I know some of you guys out there that don't really sell and kind of just trade and gift and stuff. Do you think $100 was too much, or? I thought it was pretty fair. You guys got to let me know what you think your favorite wrench is here. I'm having a hard time picking one. I really like this guy, and I'm wondering if somebody restored that. It kind of looks like it's been restored, but I think that is really good condition on there, and I think it's pretty cool, and it looks pretty nice, all cleaned up like that. So that's going to be my favorite, but this is definitely an interesting one. Thought I'd show you guys something different. I'm always looking to branch out into learning about new tools or old tools, so this was kind of an interesting one. And probably over the winter when I have some time, I'll probably clean them all up and probably get most of them on the eBay store. I might keep a couple for the personal collection. There's definitely some cool pieces in here. So that's it for today, guys. Thank you for watching. Hope you all have a great week. And yeah, it was an interesting one for sure. See you next time.